Here's Brody Brazil.
What if I told you that a pro sports team in Oakland is putting itself up for sale? It's not exactly what you were thinking. I know you and me here on this YouTube channel, we talk a lot about the Oakland A's and things of that nature. This time, though, it's all about the Oakland Roots, professional men's soccer in tandem with their women's team, the Oakland Soul. As a club and as a franchise, they're offering the ability for anybody in the general public to buy shares of the business and what they're doing. I think this is awesome. I think it's cutting edge. I think it's revolutionary. And I think it sets a tone and a precedent for what the next 5 and 10 years of soccer in Oakland is going to look like. And there's also more to it. You're wondering, what is that background right there? Why is the Coliseum in the background? All of this is also part of a bigger plan to get them a new and temporary, but also not permanent, but a 10-year home, I believe, at the current Coliseum site. More on that in just a second. What the team is offering, though, is a community investment round. And it was well publicized. People knew it was coming. Even still, within the first 6 hours, they already raised $1 million. And their goal was to only get $2 million. It does seem like with the trajectory and time and popularity that they'll probably get to that $2 million mark if they're not there already by the time you're watching this video. The maximum they can take is $5 million. So they've capped it and they've set a goal and they're well on their way to both. I also want to say it's very cool that they're offering increments here of investment anywhere from $100 to, I think there's a level of $25,000 or greater. So look, it might cost you $100 to go to a pro sports game. Baseball or definitely basketball. I mean, like one Warriors ticket. 2 Warriors tickets is definitely $100, even in probably the worst seats. I haven't checked in a while. My point is they're making this super affordable. At the $100 level, you can call yourself an owner of the Oakland Roots and Soul. But there's also the opportunity for it to be more of a buy-in too, if that's what you're into. What does this get you in return? Well, it gets everybody transparency, because all of a sudden the team has to be open about their income, their spending, decisions they've made, things that they'd like to do. It makes it so much more of a collaborative type effort. Very much how the Green Bay Packers are publicly owned. There's no owner. There's no one owner of the Green Bay Packers. The fans own the team, literally. There are some perks, some things you get, merchandise, opportunities, availabilities, and you do get value of the franchise. I do want to say here, this is not something necessarily where you're going to buy this like a stock, and then in 5 years, if it doubles in value, that you'll necessarily be able to turn it around and sell it. The team is mostly doing this investment round so that they can reinvest in their new stadium, in youth programs, in better players, in being more competitive, in the women's side with the Soul. There's a lot of things to spend on, and they've been doing a pretty good job so far. Let's also be clear, they've kind of showed their cards already. Look at the valuation of the Roots and Soul combined. From less than $1 million in 2018 to $78 million here in 2023. I mean, if that were a stock, I would have wanted to buy into that quite easily. You can see the way things are going. And that's just valuation. Again, you're probably not going to get much of your value back. I guess there is a way to do that, but don't expect that here. Their revenue has gone up tremendously, thinking about 2019 and even in 2020 to make any money that year. They did. And now they went from $2 million in 21 to almost doubling that in 22. We'll see what they do by the end of here 2023. So valuation, revenue, this is also important. Attendance. And they've unfortunately had to get away from what was their regular home at Laney College because of a field issue. And the turf couldn't always be ready, so they moved up to Cal State East Bay. They'll be there for the rest of this season. They'll be there for next season. I'm pretty sure I recently saw that. And they're hoping that by 2025, they can move into their brand new facility at the Malibu lot at the site of the Coliseum, which you'll see in just a second. Here's some of the highlights that the Roots and Soul gave to potential investors. 8 in total here. These are not my words, but I'll skim through what they said. Oakland Roots and Oakland Soul Sports Club is the last best hope for professional sports in Oakland. Number 2, first purpose-driven pro soccer team in Oakland, California. 3, coolest soccer team in the USA from 442 magazine, blending purpose, design, music, and sport. Number 4, our teams win. The Roots have reached the playoffs every year. In the Soul's debut season, they also reached the playoffs. Number 5, our game days mix Oakland culture, quality soccer, live music, local food, and passionate fans. Number 6, diverse ownership group includes NFL legend Marshawn Lynch, global rap star G-Eazy, and many others. Number 7, we're in the USL, North America's biggest soccer league. Our games air on ESPN+, KTVU+, and Telexitos. Number 8, becoming an investor means you own equity and get to participate in our collective success. Oh yeah, but there's also that next big thing. And there it is highlighted there in yellow with the reddish-orange border. That triangle is the Malibu lot, which coincidentally, there used to be a Malibu Grand Prix there, if you're old enough to remember that. 9 acres is the same site size of what the Oakland A's want to do with their new stadium in Las Vegas. It's also the dimensions of the Bellagio fountains in Las Vegas. 9 acres, so just perspective, right? 9 acres is not big. But they want to build a temporary stadium there to seat 10,000, and it has passed an initial committee meeting in the city of Oakland. It's headed, I believe, within the next week to the city council for hopefully an eventual vote. Will the Roots be able to, and the Soul, be able to use that 9-acre site to build a temporary stadium? I say temporary stadium, but this is not like a 2-year deal. I think that they told me about 6 months ago that they wanted to use this for 8 to 10 years. This is not their forever home. They will be searching for that eventually. But for right now, they just need a spot to land for a decade, to survive, to strategize, to buy some more time, and to move on. And obviously that triangle of land, not used frequently or regularly at all. It's got access to the Coliseum parking lot, to the BART station, to the Amtrak station. So for a lot of good reasons, this as a temporary home, and it doesn't get in the way of future developments with the Coliseum site. It's off to the side. This is land that pretty much nobody else was trying to get a hold of and put to use. But that's what the Roots and Soul are trying to do. So I just wanted to highlight this. As you think about it, I want to be clear, not really an investment like you're trying to make a bunch of money. That's not what this is about. You're trying to get a stake of this team. You're helping this team be more transparent, helping this team be a bigger part of the community. And maybe, yeah, down the road, maybe there are ways for you to reap the benefits financially. But again, that's if you're into it for that, maybe you're into this for the wrong reasons. Again, I don't see a lot of teams in pro sports doing this. I congratulate the Roots for doing this within, a handful of years of their existence. Thumbs up on this video down below. That'll greatly help me and the channel. And also don't forget to subscribe so I can definitely see you back here next time.